Diddy takes steps toward change while awaiting sentencing in Brooklyn. Sean Diddy Combs is clearly not content with his past reputation as the bad boy of hip-hop. While he waits for his sentencing at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, sources say Diddy has taken some surprising steps toward self-improvement. According to TMZ, Diddy has enrolled in several therapy and self-help programs behind bars, signaling a serious commitment to turning a new page in his life. Diddy, known for his hit Act Bad, is reportedly participating in the STOP program, a course designed to prevent certain bad habits in relationships, including certain situations. On top of that, he's continuing with therapy led by Dr. Harry K. Wexler, a program he reportedly began before his September 2024 arrest, and has kept up while in custody. People close to Diddy say this isn't just for show. He wants to work on himself, heal, and move toward redemption, even if the road ahead is complicated. This is a side of the hip-hop star fans don't usually get to see, one that's focused on reflection, growth, and hopefully a fresh start. What really happened to Diddy during the trial and after? Diddy's current trial began in September 2024, when he was arrested and charged with some allegations. But the drama took a turn in early July 2025, when Diddy was acquitted of the more severe charges against him. Still, he was found guilty on 2 counts related to certain activity, each carrying a potential sentence of up to 10 years. The judge in the case, Arun Subramanian, ordered that Diddy remain in jail until his sentencing, which is set for October 3rd, 2025. Until then, Diddy is spending his days behind bars. But not idly. Instead, he's making the most of his time by engaging in programs aimed at helping him grow and change. Diddy is seeking therapy after his verdict in court. It's not every day you hear about a superstar like Diddy signing up for in-prison therapy and self-help courses. TMZ reports that Diddy has made it a priority to attend sessions in the STOP program, which focuses on stopping certain things before they happen. A serious commitment that many might not expect from a celebrity with such a bold persona. He's also continuing his participation in a program run by Dr. Harry K. Wexler. Sources say this is a program Diddy started before his arrest and has kept up without interruption since entering the detention center. It seems that Diddy is serious about facing his challenges head-on. Those close to him say this is more than just ticking boxes. It's a genuine effort to better himself and move toward a more positive path, showing a vulnerability rarely seen in his public life. Diddy tries to face the consequences of his actions. While Diddy works on himself, the reality is that his situation is far from over. Beyond his sentencing in October, he's still dealing with a number of lawsuits from various individuals accusing him of misconduct. He has denied any wrongdoing, and his representatives have not publicly commented on the ongoing trial result. Still, the fact that Diddy is engaging in these self-help programs behind bars speaks volumes. It suggests a man who, while facing a difficult future, is at least attempting to find some personal growth amid the chaos. What fans and friends are saying about Diddy wanting to change in prison. Diddy has been a figure in the music world for decades, and his fans have always admired his confidence, talent, and larger-than-life personality. This new chapter, one of therapy, reflection, and quiet dedication to self-improvement, is surprising to some, but inspiring to others. Though some critics have been vocal about the charges and the trial, many of Diddy's longtime supporters are hopeful that this could be a turning point for him. Sources close to Diddy say he's focused on becoming a better man and learning from past mistakes. Whether this is the start of a fresh chapter or just a moment of introspection, it's clear that Diddy is not the same person he was years ago.
Diddy's children are happy because their father is finally coming home.
Bad Boy Records producer's 7 kids reacted to their dad being found not guilty on 2 counts.
The air in the courthouse, thick with anticipation and tension, visibly lifted for the family of Diddy following the split verdict in his federal trial.
Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of trafficking, but found guilty on lesser charges.
A palpable sense of relief and even joy washed over them as the most severe charges were dismissed. However, the relief was tempered by the jury's decision to find him guilty on 2 counts of another charge.
Combs was found not guilty on 2 counts of trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and racketeering conspiracy.
As the courthouse doors opened and the news filtered out, Diddy's mother, Janice, emerged. Her demeanor a stark contrast to the previous days of intense legal proceedings. She was seen waving to those gathered and offering a clear thumbs up, a silent but powerful gesture of triumph and reassurance. By her side was her granddaughter, Chance, sharing in the family's moment of complex relief. Trailing behind them, Diddy's son, Justin, wore a smile, a rare sight amidst the gravity of the trial. They were followed closely by his twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, their presence a testament to the family's united front throughout the ordeal. The moments leading up to the verdict of Diddy had been fraught with palpable silence. Dana Tran, the mother of Diddy's youngest child, was visibly overcome with emotion during the reading of the verdict, tears streaming down her face. Justin, in a moment of raw vulnerability, leaned down, burying his head in his lap, perhaps in prayer or simply overwhelmed by the weight of the moment. Other family members, their faces etched with concern, stared straight ahead, a collective breath held in anticipation of the pronouncements that would determine Diddy's fate. Immediately after the verdict was delivered, a profound sense of personal relief washed over Diddy himself. He turned to his assembled family, his voice filled with emotion and a clear note of exultation, proclaiming, "I'm coming home, baby, I'm coming home." This declaration, however, was spoken despite the judge's swift decision to deny him bail pending sentencing, ensuring he would remain in custody for the immediate future. The words, though premature in their immediate implication, clearly signaled his personal conviction of eventual freedom and reunion with his loved ones. Outside the courthouse, amidst a throng of reporters eager for a statement, Christian, one of Diddy's sons, addressed the media. His voice, tinged with a mix of gratitude and elation, carried a message of hope and thanks. "We love everybody watching," Christian stated, encompassing the supporters and observers of the trial. "We're so happy my pops is coming home. God bless." His words resonated with a deep sense of family loyalty and an abiding faith, reflecting the profound impact of the partial victory on the entire family unit. Inside the courtroom, as the finality of the verdict settled, Diddy took a moment to acknowledge those who had stood by him throughout the arduous process. He turned to his children and his various supporters, offering a round of applause, a gesture of thanks and appreciation for their unwavering presence. He also blew smooches to them, a more intimate and personal expression of his affection and gratitude. These actions, performed in the formal setting of the courtroom, highlighted the deeply personal stakes involved for Diddy and his family. As the judge concluded the proceedings and left the bench, the carefully maintained decorum in the courtroom gave way to an outpouring of emotion. Diddy's family broke into spontaneous applause, their relief evident in the collective cheer that filled the space. They celebrated openly with the defense team, acknowledging the tireless work that had led to the partial acquittal. In a moment of high praise, one person in the family was heard calling the attorneys the Dream Team, a testament to their perceived success in navigating the complex legal landscape. Diddy now faces the possibility of significant prison time, up to 10 years for each of the 2 counts of transporting. While a substantial sentence, it is a stark contrast to the far more severe outcome that could have materialized. Crucially, the acquittal on the other charge meant he avoided a potential life sentence, a prospect that had undoubtedly cast a long shadow over the entire trial. The split verdict, therefore, represented a complex outcome, a victory in avoiding the worst-case scenario, yet still a significant legal blow that will shape Diddy's future.
Diddy could still win the trial, even if he's found guilty.
Here's everything you need to know about the Diddy trial.
As Diddy faces intense federal charges, experts say there's still a chance he could come out ahead, at least partially. Despite the dramatic testimony and disturbing allegations, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani explained that if Diddy is not convicted on the most serious charges, it could be considered a victory. If the jury finds him guilty only on lesser charges and not the big ones, that would be a huge win, Rahmani said. Diddy's defense argues that the acts described were voluntary and mutually agreed upon. This suggests that even a partial acquittal could shape public perception and the long-term impact on his career. Former assistant describes life under Diddy's control. One of the most interesting moments in the trial came from Diddy's former assistant, identified only as Mia. She worked with him for nearly a decade and testified to an environment of strict control and mistreatment. Mia told the court about long hours and outbursts. She shared how Diddy would throw objects during angry episodes, once a computer, another time a bowl of spaghetti. Mia said she never spoke out about her experiences, stating, "I was going to die with this." Her account painted a picture of someone trapped by fear and dependence, offering the jury a close look at the alleged environment behind the scenes. Scott Mescudi testifies about his Porsche and his dog being locked up during the Diddy trial. Scott Mescudi, known professionally as Kid Cudi, took the stand to share his experience with Diddy during a tense period in 2011. Scott had a brief relationship with Cassie, Diddy's longtime ex, which allegedly sparked a jealous outburst. According to Scott, Diddy broke into his home, tampered with his dog, and locked the pet in a bathroom. The most wild part of his testimony involved his luxury car. In January 2012, a Molotov cocktail found its way inside his Porsche, which he believes Diddy was behind. The jury was shown photos of the burned-out car, including its roof, which had been cut open for the cocktail to be tossed inside. Cassie Ventura's story opened the Diddy trial. Cassie Ventura, who dated Diddy for over 10 years, opened the trial with gripping testimony. She shared how her relationship with Diddy was draining, describing how it affected her music career and personal life. Cassie claimed that he pressured her into encounters she did not want, and said the recovery periods left her too exhausted to work. Her testimony aimed to show the toll of years of alleged control and mistreatment. Prosecutors also submitted photos of injuries Cassie claims were caused by Diddy, including a forehead wound that turned into a lasting scar, inside the inner circle allegations during the Diddy trial. Testimony throughout the trial has described a powerful inner circle that allegedly helped shield Diddy from scrutiny. Prosecutors say these close associates assisted in covering up incidents, maintaining a carefully curated public image for Diddy. Witnesses have alleged that this network helped facilitate inappropriate behavior and kept victims from coming forward. Defense attorneys argue that Diddy's high-profile lifestyle naturally involved loyal employees and business associates, but prosecutors claim this loyalty crossed the line into complicity. The debate now sits with the jury as more former staff members take the stand. Dawn Richard steps forward and speaks on what she witnessed. Singer Dawn Richard, once a rising star under Diddy's guidance on the show Making the Band, also testified in the trial. Dawn described an unsettling incident where she saw Diddy physically harm Cassie Ventura. According to her, he struck Cassie and pushed her to the ground during a visit to his in-home studio in 2019. Dawn's testimony is one of the rare first-hand accounts from someone within Diddy's professional circle. Her statement added weight to Cassie's earlier claims and offered the jury an eyewitness view of one of the most serious accusations. What's next in the Diddy trial? The trial is expected to continue through 2025 until early July, with the prosecution side wrapping up around June 9th. With several more witnesses expected to testify, the case continues to build on a mix of personal stories, arguments, and public curiosity. While Diddy's defense insists that everything was above board and voluntary, the testimony from former assistants, artists, and friends paints a very different picture. Regardless of how the jury rules, the outcome will have lasting effects on Diddy's legacy and could redefine how power and accountability are discussed in the music industry. Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts, but could be heading home soon. The long-awaited verdict in Diddy's high-profile federal trial was finally announced, marking a dramatic day inside the Manhattan courtroom. Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in certain acts, but not guilty of racketeering and other charges. While the 2 convictions carry a maximum sentence of up to 20 years combined, Diddy's official sentencing will be determined at a later date. The jury, consisting of 8 men and 4 women, informed Judge Arun Subramanian of their unanimous decision. Diddy, joined by close family members, was present as the verdict was read aloud. Overcome with emotion, he dropped to his knees in what appeared to be a moment of prayer before standing and blowing a kiss toward his supporters. His children, including Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, and twins Delilah and Jesse, were also in the courtroom, having supported their father throughout the trial. As the verdict echoed through the packed courtroom, cheers erupted from Diddy's camp, offering a glimpse of relief after weeks of proceedings. Outside the courtroom, emotions were visibly high, with at least one of his daughters seen wiping away tears. Following the verdict, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, requested that his client be released immediately on a $1 million bond, money his family was reportedly prepared to post that same day. He also asked for permission for Diddy to travel to Florida, New York, and Los Angeles while awaiting sentencing. Prosecutors, however, strongly objected to the request, citing concerns, and the judge did not issue a ruling immediately. This verdict comes after a 5-week trial that gripped the nation and drew widespread media attention. Although the trial was not televised, updates from inside the courtroom, including major testimonies, and emotional moments spread rapidly online and across news outlets. Earlier, jurors indicated they were stuck on one of the charges, racketeering conspiracy, which led to further deliberation. The charge was eventually dismissed when the jury couldn't reach an agreement. Judge Subramanian had instructed them to continue working toward a unanimous decision, which they did on the remaining counts. The case initially included several additional charges, but prosecutors dropped some of them just before closing arguments, narrowing the focus of the trial. Diddy had been held without bail at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center since his arrest in September 2024. Following an extensive investigation, the trial brought a number of high-profile figures and former acquaintances into the courtroom, each providing unique insights into Diddy's personal and professional life. Among the most talked-about witnesses was Cassie Ventura, who once shared a decade-long relationship with the rapper and provided deeply personal testimony. Another notable moment came from rapper Kid Cudi, who described a disturbing incident involving damage to his property. His statements, like others, painted a complex portrait of Diddy, one that his defense team worked hard to counter with their own evidence and testimony. Throughout the trial, Diddy's attorneys pushed back against many of the claims brought by witnesses, arguing that the narrative was one-sided and lacked full context. They emphasized his long career, contributions to music and entertainment, and the support of his family and fans. In closing arguments, Diddy's defense team reminded jurors of the standard required for conviction and urged them to assess the case with fairness and caution. It appears those arguments resonated in part, given the split verdict. Diddy has continued to maintain his innocence and has consistently denied any wrongdoing throughout the process. The road ahead will likely be complicated, with sentencing still pending and public scrutiny far from over. For now, all eyes are on Judge Subramanian, who will decide whether Diddy can walk free on bail in the coming days. Letters from both prosecution and defense were ordered to be submitted by 1 p.m. ET, outlining arguments for and against release. Regardless of the outcome, the verdict marks a pivotal moment in a case that has dominated headlines and sparked heated conversations in both the entertainment world and the broader public. As the dust begins to settle, Diddy's future remains uncertain, but his family, his fans, and the public continue to watch closely. Sean Diddy Combs received a standing ovation from fellow inmates after returning to jail following a dramatic courtroom victory.
Sean Diddy Combs' fellow inmates are celebrating his acquittals.
Music mogul received a standing ovation from fellow inmates when he returned to a federal jail in Brooklyn.
Diddy had just been acquitted of the most serious charges against him, and the response from those behind bars was both emotional and historic. They all said, "We never get to see anyone who beats the government," said Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo.
Sean Diddy Combs walks back into jail, and the inmates, they rise to their feet in a standing ovation.
For many incarcerated men, especially black inmates, seeing someone like Diddy succeed in the face of a daunting federal prosecution was a rare moment of inspiration. Diddy remains in custody due to convictions on lesser charges, but the acquittals lifted a significant weight.
Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of trafficking, but found guilty on lesser charges.
"Maybe it's your fate in life to be the guy who wins," Agnifilo recalled telling him early on. That sense of purpose stayed with Diddy throughout the intense, high-stakes trial. The defense team, a powerhouse group of 8 attorneys, focused on dismantling the prosecution's narrative piece by piece. Their strategy was direct: acknowledge Diddy's complicated personal life, including drug use, jealousy, and tumultuous relationships, but draw a firm line between that and the charges he faced. As lawyer Tenny Garagos told jurors, "You may think to yourself, wow, he's a really bad boyfriend, but that is simply not what he was being accused of." Agnifilo said it was essential to be honest about Diddy's flaws. "The violence was so clear and upfront, and we knew the government was going to try to confuse the jury," he explained. "So we had to tell the jury what it was so they wouldn't think it was something it wasn't." When jurors in the Diddy trial initially reported being stuck on one of the more serious counts, the defense team was nervous. But Agnifilo sensed they had avoided the most damaging verdicts. He sent a pre-dawn text to Garagos predicting the outcome and urging her to prepare a bail application. "I thought if they convicted him on one of the lesser charges, but not the main ones, we had a real shot," he said. That prediction proved accurate. When court resumed, Diddy entered smiling and prayed with his family. Within an hour, the jury returned a verdict that mirrored Agnefilo's instincts. Diddy mouthed "thank you" to jurors and smiled as his supporters applauded. The defense team, overwhelmed by the outcome, was met with cheers of "Dream Team" as they exited. Mitchell Epner, a former federal prosecutor who once worked with Agnifilo, called it a major loss for the prosecution and praised the defense's strategy. The fact that Diddy's team won without putting any witnesses on the stand only added to the accomplishment. "That's masterful," said former federal prosecutor Sarah Krisoff. "They had a narrative from the beginning, and they stuck to it." The Diddy case hinged on complicated personal dynamics and a high-profile lifestyle. At trial, even former personal assistants, some of whom had seen video evidence of Diddy's violent moments, spoke positively about his character under cross-examination. The defense argued that prosecutors had built their case on personal details and relationships, not a coordinated criminal enterprise. Agnifilo, who once used racketeering laws as a federal prosecutor, said the case lacked the core foundation for such a charge. "They didn't have a conspiracy," he said. "They basically had Combs' personal life and tried to build racketeering around personal assistance." Despite the victory, Diddy's challenges aren't over. He still faces sentencing on remaining charges and is working on himself in meaningful ways, his lawyer said. "He genuinely wants to improve," Agnifilo noted. "He realizes he has flaws like everyone else that he never worked on." According to him, Diddy runs hot in all areas of life, personally, professionally, emotionally. But no amount of fame or fortune can cover that up, he added. He's beginning to see that now. The day of the verdict didn't end without one last dramatic moment. After court, as Agnifilo waited for the elevator, a man nearby collapsed into violent seizures. Drawing on his knowledge of first aid, the attorney leapt into action, flipping the man onto his side while his daughter checked his pulse and his law partner cushioned the man's head. Emergency responders arrived shortly after, and the man regained consciousness. "It was like I was getting punked by God," Agnifilo said of the surreal end to a highly emotional day. From courtroom triumph to a medical emergency, the defense lawyer saw it all in just a few hours. As for Diddy, he remains behind bars for now, but carries with him a rare courtroom win that gave hope to many others around him. The applause from his fellow inmates may have been the most meaningful moment of all. Diddy flirted with the witness at the Diddy trial when they were in love.
Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Jane returned to the stand and recalled partying with an unnamed famous rapper.
Ex-girlfriend Jane testifies on trip with another rapper, fight with Sean Combs.
Diddy's team scored a major win during a pivotal moment in his ongoing federal trial in New York City. Diddy's attorneys cross-examined his ex-girlfriend, referred to as Jane, who is the third witness to take the stand in the case involving serious charges.
Sean Diddy Combs' former girlfriend, identified in court, Jane, was back on the stand, under cross-examination.
While testifying, Jane admitted she still has feelings for Diddy. She revealed that Diddy continues to pay her rent and previously gave her about $150,000 over the course of their 3-year relationship. As she fondly recalled giving him foot massages and watching Dateline together, Diddy reportedly smiled in court.
Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Jane returned to the stand and recalled partying with an unnamed famous rapper.
The day also brought a victory for Diddy, as Judge Arun Subramanian ruled against the prosecution's request to recall a clinical psychologist. Prosecutors had hoped the expert could explain why some alleged victims may appear to have willingly participated in situations they later reported as bad for them. The judge, however, denied the motion. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the charges. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. The trial remains ongoing, with both sides presenting their cases to the jury. The newest witness in the Diddy trial says she still loves Diddy. During recent testimony in the ongoing trial, the newest witness, known as Jane, shared memories about her past relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. Despite the serious nature of the case, Jane admitted that she still loves Diddy, and he smiled as she recalled some of their time together. When questioned by attorney Tenny Garagos about their relationship, Jane said she enjoyed cuddling with Diddy and even giving him foot rubs. She affectionately referred to him as her baby. She also mentioned that she would bathe him, and they often watched his favorite show, Dateline, together for hours. Their tender moments painted a complex picture of their relationship as the trial continues. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, and the court is still hearing evidence from both sides. Jane got grilled for her time with Diddy. Jane faced tough questioning from Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers about her time in their relationship.
Sean Diddy Combs' former girlfriend, identified in court, Jane, was back on the stand, under cross-examination.
Attorney Tenny Garagos asked if she regretted many of the choices she made while involved with the rapper. Jane responded honestly, saying, "I resent him for leading me into the lifestyle he led me into." She explained that her decisions were made under a great deal of pressure. When Garagos asked if she felt resentful about being with other men during that time, Jane replied, "Yes, I resented the way he went about introducing me to this lifestyle." She added that it involved a lot of emotional manipulation and pressure, which caused her significant resentment. The questioning highlighted the complicated emotions Jane has about her past relationship with Diddy. The trial continues as both sides present their cases, with the court carefully examining every detail. Prosecutors are saying one of the jurors should be cut. Before the jury entered the courtroom, prosecutors requested that juror number 6 be removed from the panel. The judge acknowledged that an unspecified issue had arisen involving the juror, but did not provide any further details, as the matter is under seal. Due to the sensitive nature of the situation, no additional information was discussed publicly in court. The defense team opposed the motion to dismiss juror number 6, asking the judge for a chance to present their arguments. They expressed a desire to be heard on the matter before any decision was finalized. At this point, the reason behind the request remains unclear to observers and the public. The judge will now consider both sides' positions before ruling on whether juror number 6 will continue to serve on the case. Diddy thinks he looks like a koala in the courtroom sketches. During the court session, Diddy made a lighthearted request to courtroom sketch artist Jane Rosenberg. Turning toward Rosenberg in the front row, Diddy joked, "Soften me up a bit, you're making me look like a koala bear," referring to how the artist's sketches had portrayed him with his gray beard. Rosenberg, a well-known courtroom sketch artist for Reuters, has been capturing the trial proceedings in Manhattan Federal Court, where photography and video are not allowed. Her drawings provide a glimpse into the courtroom drama through her unique artistic style. Diddy isn't the first high-profile figure to comment on Rosenberg's courtroom depictions. Earlier this year, Rudy Giuliani told Rosenberg she had drawn him looking like his dog.
Reports indicate Kanye West and Sean Diddy Combs are planning a significant musical collaboration, potentially a song or even an album. This marks a controversial partnership, as both artists have faced recent public scandals. Sources suggest music is a salvation for both, with Diddy reportedly seeking to make amends. A prior track by Kanye featured Diddy, including a phone call from his incarceration, showcasing their ongoing friendship. Kanye also executive produced King Combs' EP, Never Stop, which included Diddy and Northwest, reinforcing family ties. Critiques are not happy about this. Meghan Markle recently shared Instagram posts detailing her family's 4th of July celebrations at their Montecito home. She crafted a patriotic charcuterie board, resembling the American flag with star-shaped cheese, and wore a blue and white striped shirt reminiscent of her royal past. The posts included a selfie with Prince Harry and photos of themed cupcakes made with their children, Archie and Lilibet. Meghan revealed that her second date with Prince Harry was on July 4th, 2016, when he brought her cupcakes, a tradition they now share annually. This deeply personal celebration, blending American festivity with their unique love story, was previously mentioned in Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, highlighting the family's new cherished traditions in California. Kate Middleton made her first public appearance since missing royal ascot on July 2nd, 2025, visiting Colchester Hospital. There, she spoke candidly about the really difficult period after completing cancer treatment. Kate revealed she's not able to function normally at home as she once did, emphasizing the lack of clinical supervision post-treatment despite ongoing challenges. She stressed the life-changing importance of support for patients and families during this phase, noting that finding a new normal is a roller coaster process. Diagnosed in March 2024, Kate Middleton completed chemotherapy in September 2024 and announced remission in January 2025. She is gradually resuming royal duties, balancing public responsibilities with her recovery. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made serious allegations against the royal family since stepping back from duties in 2020. These allegations were aired across their Netflix series, Meghan's Oprah Winfrey interview, and Prince Harry's memoir, Spare. Despite this, Harry and Meghan consistently spoke warmly of the Queen publicly, with Meghan describing her as wonderful and grateful for their nice warmth. When the Queen passed away, Harry rushed to Balmoral, and the couple remained in the UK for the funeral. They also appeared publicly with Prince William and Princess Kate at Windsor, a notable reunion. Meghan emphasizes their focus on their philanthropic foundation and future projects. Khloe Kardashian marked the 4th of July with a vibrant family celebration alongside her children, True and Tatum, and niece Dream Kardashian. The children sported charming matching American flag-themed outfits, while Khloe herself donned a cropped red USA top with jeans. The festive gathering included a patriotic dessert table laden with treats and a happy 4th of July 2025 cake. Khloe Kardashian shared joyous Instagram photos and videos, capturing her children relishing the party, including True happily eating ice cream. The family also enjoyed a local parade featuring firemen and Smokey Bear. Dream Kardashian, daughter of Rob Kardashian and Angela White, was noted for her close bond with Khloe, who acts as a significant parental figure.